Meeting. Welcome to the Hayden P&Z Commission. Go ahead and call to order and do roll, please. Commissioner Aaron.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Chris Morris.
Here.
Commissioner Keithson. Says. Vice Chair Mary Hurd. Here. Chair John Taylor. Expect anyone. But we will go ahead and start with the allegiance. Chris, would you to start off, please?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do we have any instructions here? No. Okay. We go ahead and start the meeting. Okay. Commissioner, do we have any conflicts of interest off of that? You're safe by the hour, Commissioner. Any conflicts of interest for anyone? No. Wonderful. Perfect time. You get started off our public hearing, please.
Did we call order?
We did. That's the point where I start the
Sort for roll.
We've already done that.
And the all for Fox Century. So our first hearing is BZE 24-0150, additional use permit, Alistair Services.
Actually, no. So Janet is on her baby today.
Very nice.
She's going to present the additional permit for you. His wife, Brett, is looking so first.
Okay, so today we are bringing to you a conditional use permit for McAllister Technical Services, PE 240150. The location of the conditional permit for 1521 North Warren Street. You could see that it's just south of Bulls Road to the west of Warren Street, and then further off the east is Highway 95. Here's a photo from the street looking at the building. It's existing building obviously there. And looking northeast from Warren Street. And southeast from North Warren Street. The parcel is zoned commercial. It's approximately 0.68 of an acre. There's one existing building on site, which is approximately 7,600 square feet. The existing use is general office assemblage, and we're here tonight because the applicant would like to add light manufacturing, which is an allowed use in the commercial zone with this conditional use permit. He is already in the building with just the office and assemblage portion of his facility, and he's not using light manufacturing until tonight's hearing. So with that, Altus Properties LLC is the owner. The applicant is McAllister Technical Services. Noah Riker is the representative for both the owner and the applicant. And again, conditional use permit to allow for light manufacturing within the building with in accordance with Hayden City Code 11-2-4. So, Mr. Riker, if you would like to come up. And there you go, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you. I want to address the possibility of concerns with noise coming from our business. It was one of the things that Shannon and I had talked about, and she thought it would be helpful. And I want to do that by kind of going through our history of the last 35 years of what buildings and areas we've operated in. So from 1990 to 2016, we were at 280 West Prairie, which now is in your jurisdiction. I'm not sure if it was before, but we were in Unit 1, and we shared walls with 3 other tenants for, 26 years. It was in which we had no complaints, none of the tenants, and they were all professional services, engineering, surveying companies, and I don't think we'd never had a complaint for that. We operated inside the walls, didn't have outside storage, there was no nuisance or any kind of disturbances like that. We moved in 2016 down to 1124 East Sherman, where we share a wall with this building here. It's a gym. They actually make way more noise than we do. At this location, there was an Airbnb behind us for the last 2 years, which is as close as 15 feet. And I have some reviews, but there were pages and pages of reviews, and all of the reviews said, quiet neighborhood, nice location, nothing about a manufacturing facility 15 feet away. We had no outside storage, so we operated inside the walls. That's the way we intend to operate here at this location as well. So we would be inside, just using the outside for parking only. Again, that shared wall, the gym actually generated more noise than we do. My office in our company's conference room was about here, sharing a wall with the machine shop, and we bought a decibel meter just to see. It was in the low 40s. We had conference calls inside my office. We've never had to move or change locations. We took that decibel meter and went outside, and it was in the 80s when cars are going by. So a shared wall next to the machine shop was much quieter than the street. Here's the 11521, just showing the distance it is between the existing buildings and how much better this will be for us and for our neighbors even. This was a narrative of kind of what I explained about the Airbnb and just the nature of our business, and that we want to be good neighbors and not be a nuisance in the neighborhood. Airbnb reviews, again saying, quiet neighborhood, great location, quiet neighborhood. And then I have the comprehensive plan, that we'll operate within its objectives. There won't be our business won't cause changes necessary for surrounding services, and the site will remain compatible with the location, setting, existing uses, and intended character of the general vicinity. No changes are necessary for this conditional use permit. And that's kind of all I have for this.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions?
I don't really have any questions. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there.
Oh.
Let's see if there's anything that he needs to say. I don't have any concerns.
No. Anyone? No questions? Everybody's read it? Okay, that's good. All right. No?
That's it? Okay, thank you.
Okay. I didn't have any comments on those. I just marked that.
Okay, so I'll go through the standards of approval for a conditional use permit. Number one, the proposal is in accordance with general objectives or with any specific objective of the comprehensive plan and or the zoning ordinance. Here's the future land use map and our current zone map. So you can see currently they are in that commercial zone. They've got commercial use pretty much surrounding, except for light industrial behind them. And then in the future land use map, it does call out that it would be light industrial in the future. And this light manufacturing use is allowed outright in light industrial. So staff identified goals and policies that would run with this conditional use permit. There is the list of it in that staff analysis. If you, as a commission, feel that others need to be called out, you could definitely do that. So goals 3, 7, and 16 basically speaks to keeping the character of the community, balance of commercial uses and designated areas throughout the community, and then ensure that our ordinances and policies do not violate private property rights. For the policies, we have encourage rezoning and zoning text amendment, and although this is not a zone text amendment, he is not asking for light industrial. He's just asking for that conditional use permit within the commercial zone. And then also ensure land use and zoning compatibility related to development and density and type near the Coeur d'Alene Airport. So this is close to the Coeur d'Alene Airport, and we feel that this one lies with that one as well. And then the purpose of our commercial zone is to provide for most types of businesses as well as for retail and wholesale sales and service. Number 2, standards of approval. So because this is already an existing building, the site has already been permitted, and Mr. Riker did not apply for any site changes, building enlargement, anything of the sort. The streets, the parcels already served by streets, police and fire protection, does have drainage structures, refuse disposal, water, sewer, schools. And then the agencies responsible for the establishment would need to be able to provide adequately for any such services. And we did, I'll get to a little bit later, but we did reach out to the agencies, and the proposed additional use of light manufacturing did not trigger any items to be mitigated. And then number 3, design and planning to include construction, operation, and maintenance of the site is compatible with the location, setting, and existing uses. This one, again, since it's already been established, we did not need to go through any of those required landscaping, lighting, parking, stormwater. However, if and when a building permit comes through for any additional changes, we would absolutely adhere to Hayden City Code and make sure that they follow code's policies and standards. So agency notices were sent to 11 agencies. Avondale Irrigation District responded with no comments. They are their water district. Idaho Department of Water Resources commented the applicant is to reach out to Avondale Irrigation should they need additional water support, and they had no further comments. Northern Lakes Fire Protection District stated the occupancy operation shall meet all conditions of the current edition of the Idaho Fire Code. Any modifications to the existing structure needs to be approved by the fire district, which that would happen upon time of building permit, and current Idaho Fire Code requirements shall apply if and when building permits are applied for. And then they did say additional requirements may apply depending on the size and type of the occupancy constructed. So we had 2 comments come in from the public when we noticed the adjacent property owners. One came in as neutral. Those are this little handout. They did come in after the staff analysis was written, so we wanted to make sure those were included. We had one neutral by Mr. Robert Holmes and one in support by Mr. Ken Ela. Neither of them actually left any comments. They just checked the box that they were neutral or in support of. So staff has identified some recommendations for conditions of approval should the commission decide to approve the conditional use permit tonight. Number 1, it's based upon the request of light manufacturing within the commercial zone. The approval shall run with the land for as long as the use remains, no matter the ownership, and I have a typo, no matter how many times I look over this. There it is. Okay, and so basically this one would state, even if Mr. Riker were to sell and another business were to come in with that light manufacturing, that still can stay. However, if the use ceases for 1 year, it would go back to commercial use only. Any development of the project site and building shall comply with Hayden City Code Title 11. And this one's a little more in depth with Title 11 as to speaking with landscaping, parking, and stormwater, that any building permits would comply with that. Sewer capitalization fees are based on the amount of domestic water usage. They are currently hooked up to sewer. We at this point are not sure if light manufacturing is going to increase the need for more sewer capacity. And so this condition would allow the city to get those water records on an annual basis and kind of gauge it. And if we see that water usage is going up during those winter months, we could at that point charge for additional cap fees if needed. No required parking is allowed on North Warren Street or unpaved locations within the project site. That includes any gravel areas that might be towards the back. Should parking occur in areas where it is not allowed, the owner shall provide for required parking through joint parking agreements. That could be with either side of them if they have additional parking, that they could come to some sort of agreement, or provide for additional parking on site or another mean acceptable to the city. Access to the site is only on North Warren Street. And then any proposed work within our utility easement on site shall require an encroachment permit. And so again, these are your standards of approval that you'll base your decision on tonight. I'll have these available for you at the end. These are your decisions. We have motion to approve, motion to continue, or motion to deny. And I stand for questions. Okay. Do you have a,
Let's do that.
Conditions
you
of
want to leave it
approval.
here, conditions of approval?
Conditions of approval, please. Thank you.
Standards of approval, okay.
Okay,
That is it for me, and
okay.
you can carry on with the rest of
Any
yours.
discussion?
Good job, Shannon.
Thank you.
As far as discussion, I think that it fits nicely, and I think it's the kind of operation.
We need to have public comment.
for
before
public
comment.
we
Public
do
comment.
deliberations.
Do we have any public comment? Is there any, did anyone sign up for public comment?
Deborah, did you receive any comment cards?
No,
You did not?
no public comment.
Okay, we have no public comment.
So
Now we will have our,
We need to just make sure we ask the public another time, make sure nobody wants to speak since it's a public hearing.
would anyone here presently like to speak that did not fill out a form? Nope.
Okay,
All right.
and the public hearing's closed.
Public hearing is closed. We'll have discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I think that this is the kind of business that we, and business owners that we want to attract to the city, that would want to be good neighbors and would fit with what's going on in the immediate vicinity. I
So
think
you think it
that's-
meets some of the goals of the
Right,
comprehensive plan?
exactly.
Okay.
Whether it's commercial or light industrial, I would still see this as fitting. So,
Yeah.
I might have missed it, and maybe I should have asked. Were we given the type of business it is that operates
Type of
there?
manufacturing?
The type of manufacturing?
we,
We manufacture scientific instruments and devices, tools for research,
Got it.
material research.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, that was in the staff review.
Yeah. That being said, I concur. I think it all moves towards
It fits.
the plan.
Mhm.
So
Joel, any comments?
I think it's a slam dunk. I mean, you guys are already there, and it's going to be a small change. So, I mean, it fits in with everybody else in the area, and they're not problem neighbors. So, I think it's easy choice.
Remembering that it goes, the conditional use goes with the property, not with the owner. So even if he
Correct.
leaves,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, for light manufacturing.
light manufacturing, I still think in that area is appropriate.
It still works with the flum too. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think the fact that we didn't have any comments from the neighbors would attest that there's no issues there. So that would be the main thing. Anyone like to make a motion? Do we have that?
I'll make a motion.
Hold that thought,
Okay, I will hold that thought.
hold that thought. So we all agree, you all agreed that it fits. I didn't hear any one of you address the standards of approval. So could you go
We
back
talked about it a little bit, but yeah.
and just for the notes so the findings work?
Sure.
Can you say how it meets standards of
Okay.
approval?
Jill said that it fits with the comprehensive plan. I think three of us said that it fit with the comprehensive plan, that it, as far as its location, design, size,
And use.
purpose, use, that it all fits with the comprehensive plan as well as with where it, how it is now, just in its immediate proximity of what's also going on in the area. At the site itself, even if it was a different owner, is compatible with the location and setting in its immediate vicinity.
And we've
Can
got
you-
adequate sewer and water, so.
Right, there you go. That's
Thank
what I
you.
was going to say.
That's where I was looking for.
There you go, Sean.
Adequately
Bringing it
served
up.
by services.
Thank
Brain
you.
is working again.
All right, keep going.
Given that we think it meets the standards of approval,
Very good.
I would like to make a motion to approve. I, David Erickson, move to approve the PZE 24-0150 McAllister Technical Services Incorporated conditional use permit request with staff recommended conditions of approval, finding that it is in accord with the standards of Hayden City Code based upon testimony received at the Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing and the record of the request.
I'll second.
All right, roll call.
Sorry. A little slow. It's a first. It's okay. You got it.
David Erickson, Commissioner Erickson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Joel Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Chris Morris.
Aye.
Keep this here. Vice Chair Mary Howard
Aye.
and Chair Sean Taylor.
Yes. All right, motion passes.
Motion passes.
All right.
Good job, Shannon.
Thanks.
I believe that concludes our public hearing. Now we're into reports. Donna.
So.
If you would like to hear our reports, you can. You're free to leave at this point if you'd like. But
Well, he told us we could. Oh, okay. Thanks.
thank you.
So the normal third meeting of the month is President's Day. So as a result, our meeting got moved to the fourth Monday of the month at 5:30. That will be another public hearing. So I expect those packets out to you for your review probably next week, maybe later this week, for that public hearing. It's going to take a little bit of time to work through those packets. We may try to have a joint workshop with City Council. We're still working on some schedules for a couple of reasons with Planning and Zoning. And City Council will keep you apprised as to what those are and when those come forward.
Are you having some dates kind of in mind? Or?
Yeah, we are. We'll send out kind of a poll to see who's available and how to get that scheduled. Other than that, we're just going to keep plugging away.
Are you seeing more applications come in, or do we have a busy schedule?
Yeah, just
Out.
pretty steady.
Yeah,
Pretty steady.
okay. Very good. I believe that is all we have. Anyone else have any comments, concerns, questions?
No?
I apologize for being late. Sorry about that.
We forgive you.
Thank you. We are adjourned.